Hey, what is up? It's Jim. I'm back with another Tiller tip, and usually Tiller tips are regular bits of coaching that I give, pretty consistently. I don't try to give everyone all the tips, but in particular situations, there are themes that come up often, and I've got kind of this little unique toolbox of tips that I have learned to draw from. And so this tip, though, is not something I had ever said before last week. It was pretty cool, and actually, it's been on my mind, so I wanted to share it with you. Um, I had this guy who was telling me how he had been praying so hard for an older, wiser man to come into his life and help him with a particular thing. And it wasn't happening. Everyone he had approached about it was, just very non-committal, very laissez-faire about it or whatever. And he just felt really frustrated that that man was not entering into his life. And I kind of flippantly said this, but I'm really glad that I said it. I think it was a product of duck praying, and it was something the Holy Spirit gave me. I told him, hey, I wonder if you need to decide to be the answer to your own prayer. And he's like, okay, so I'm going to be an older, wiser guy and help myself out. I'm like, well, no, yeah, we need to keep praying for that. But if you want that thing, don't you think other people want that thing as well? Turn around and give it to someone else. And actually serving through that might actually help you. And it was a pretty cool moment, and got to hear this week that he's been taking that advice. And I love that. So for instance, if you were spending a lot of time praying for someone to enter into your life and help you with a problem that you had. And that's a good and right thing to do, to pray for that. Let's say the problem is that you have a hard time choosing hats that are cool and situationally appropriate. I don't know. I don't have that problem, clearly. No, I could pray for someone to give me headwear advice and for that person to come into my life, and that would be a good and right thing, of course. But if I want that so badly, if that was the thing that I needed, maybe I could turn around and just provide that for other people, because maybe there's other people that need that as well. Clearly, I don't need that. I mean, Wally's country. Let's ride. Okay, so here's where it gets personal for me. Tiller coaching is something that I started, almost 5 years ago. And the reason I started it was because this is what I've always wanted for myself. Someone who just wanted to walk with me in the midst of my suffering, in the midst of my expectation gaps. And, for someone to actually be willing and not be in it to make a buck or whatever. I wanted that so badly. And at some point, I just needed to say, all right, I must not be the only crazy person out there. There must be other people out there who want this, who need this. And so I just gave it a shot, and it's been working. It's crazy. It's wild. I had such a busy year this year as we're wrapping up 2024. I coached 114 people this year. There's clearly people who wanted this and needed this. And so I guess I was the answer to my own prayer. Now, that didn't necessarily help me, but in actuality, it totally helped me. Serving others through my expectation gap and their own expectation gap has been a key recipe of how I have overcome my own gaps. And it's been really great for me. I still struggle. I have hard days. Things be real, of course. But being the answer to my own prayer has been really helpful. So that's what I have for this week. For whatever that means for you, I encourage you to go out and do it with gusto, and see what happens. All right. Well, thanks for joining me. I will see you next week. See ya.